Specifically, what would some of the findings be?
Well, we submitted this to what we might say is an international jury of sonar experts and optical experts and photographic experts. And their unanimous agreement among the sonar people is that we did, in fact, detect large moving objects that seem to be from 20 to 30 feet long, seem to have an appendage that carries with the body of about 10 feet, and from the sonar signature indicates that they have humps or projections spaced about 6 feet apart. Loch Ness is a terrible place to photograph in. It's full of silt and it's very dark. We're 50 feet down. But yet we did, at a distance of something like 20 feet from the strobe camera at extreme range, get some pictures. Now, here's a picture in color, true color, of the way it ordinarily looks, all that silt, and we get all this haze and fuzz. But fortunately, we did get something that looks very much like the tail of a newt, we are told, but very much larger. That's 8 feet long, that came into the camera. And our best picture, improved by enhancement, was of a flipper in a frame that was taken some 30 seconds earlier. And here you do see an appendage that the optical experts tell us is some 8 feet long and about 2 feet wide, and it coincided exactly with a 10-foot measurement on the sonar.
Now, when some of your colleagues, men of science, saw these photos, were they impressed?
Well, of course, none of us were impressed with the quality of the photographs, and we were all disappointed that zoologists wouldn't be able from these photographs to make an identification of the animal. But we were impressed in the sense that this is the first time anything of this length from a camera has ever been photographed in this kind of water, and we were certainly delighted that we could make out shapes that competent people could definitely say, yes, that's a tail structure, or yes, this looks like a flipper structure, so that we were able to tie in our pictures with the objects that were being detected on sonar. Well, our experiments took place in Urquhart Bay. Here we see a three-dimensional model obtained by sonar, which is on display at the Boston Museum of Science, and which shows two rivers way up the far end where the salmon, coming from the ocean, jumped 50 feet into Loch Ness, came up into this bay, and tried to go up to spawn. There wasn't enough water in those rivers, and so we decided this was an ideal time, with the salmon all trapped there, to put our sonar on the ridge facing a depression in front of the rivers, and to put our sonar gate across that, put our strobe cameras underneath there, and see if indeed something came in to try to eat those salmon. And indeed something did.